Hey, what's up guys, it's PK. So today's video we're going to be talking about the new Integra. I've driven the 11th Gen SI. I did really like how it was overall. Now that we have the Integra in person though, in my point of view, considering that they're pretty much the same cost considering market, the Integra is a much better car. You're getting a lot more for it. Yeah, it might be a little bit heavier. Yeah, it might look a little weird with the hunchback, but I think it's a better car overall. So first we're going to talk about the exterior, then we're going to be talking about the interior, and then the last thing we're going to talk about is the powertrain, the potential of the powertrain. To give a quick background for those that have never seen my videos or anything, so I've had FK8, I've had a bunch of homies with 10 Gen SI coupes, sedans, all the trim levels. Lewis has a 10 Gen SI. It's pretty much a full-on race car at this point. It's nothing like OEM. We'll kind of give you guys our feedback about the new Integra. And again, the intention of this video is to talk about it and compare it to the 11th Gen SI. If you guys have questions after this video, feel free to leave it down in the comments. I'll try to answer it myself or Lewis or the actual owner of the Integra. So shout out to VSM. Here's the Integra in person. First thing off the bat, I'd say is it looks way better in person compared to video, pictures, whatever. When they first released the yellow Integra, the first time everyone got to see it, I think it looked a lot longer, a lot uglier. Looking at the A-Spec here in white pearl, I'm a fan of it compared to the 11th Gen SI. Integra versus 11th Gen SI, Integra is better in my end, but I still think the 10th Gen is way better looking aesthetically from the outside. So looking at the front end, I do like how it says Integra right there. I do like the front grille. It's pretty sick how they kind of did all the geometry and stuff like that. The headlights are cool. And overall, I can see the potential. Maybe if they make a Type S or a Type R, they're going to make it much more aggressive or wider. Front end is probably one of my favorite things about the car. All it really needs is a front lip, and I think it'll look much better. Another key detail that I see that Acura did is, so inside the headlight, they wrote Acura inside. That's pretty cool. So on the mirror, the ash has a signal light here, A-Spec placard. So on the exterior, you have this little light here. It's pretty cool, pretty fancy, if you say.
It's like a small little detail.
Yeah, and I think they did a really good job with little details on the Integra. Like I'll give them credit for that. Like this, same with the headlights, how it has the Acura, the Integra logo on the bumper. Another thing that people don't like is how it kind of has the Genesis taillights. But looking at it here in person, it really doesn't look like a Genesis. It looks like more Acura style, RDX, ILX stuff. Another cool detail that it has is it has the Integra logo, same as the old ones. As well, the taillights here, it says Acura inside. That's pretty sick. It's missing something, I feel like. Like, you do see this line here. You do have these two fine lines here making like a little dog slash like cup.
I feel like maybe if it had like what the Ford has, like a little spats or something.
Yeah, like maybe once the aftermarket makes side skirts or something, but I feel like this from the side view it's missing something. So the car does have potential, and I think it's cool how you could get from Honda all these parts carbon, this part carbon, the mirror caps carbon, but from the outside it's cool. Like, I'm not mad, but I don't know, just think the car's just too modern.
I think it was overhyped for what it was.
Yeah, I think if it had the 2.0 turbo,
Yeah.
like the FK engine in this, I think it'd be,
Or even like the Ford.
yeah, or even the Accord.
Especially for a car that hasn't been released in what 20 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. They kind of dropped the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first Integra with the turbo.
Has forged rods over the 11 Gen.
Is that facts or
So that's what they're claiming.
who's claiming?
Acura.
Acura is saying that this has forged.
Yeah, like they're forged. They're like forged to harden them, and then like they micro crack them for strength apparently. So maybe it's better. Maybe it's a better motor.
Maybe it is a better motor.
It makes more power than the SI2 from factory.
So on dyno, this made
More.
five.
I don't know the exact number. Don't quote. But it made more for sure than the 11 Gen SI.
And you're excited about five horsepower?
When you're buying this over an SI, yeah.
I know. I posted on Instagram kind of like a sneak peek of it.
Oh, but if it was a 2006 and fucking Integra or a fucking RSX and you made 5 horsepower with the fucking intake, you're like, oh shit, bro.
Oh yeah. From exterior, I like the front end. The back end is cool. Like, I'm not mad about it. I think if it needs like a wing or something in the rear end. Yeah, from the side profile, I think it looks cool, but it's not like amazing. Considering this car to the last 4 or 5 years of what Honda has done, this car is conservative. But if you compare this to the 11 Gen SI, I think this is more aggressive. We're gonna check the inside. And it's cool how you got not just one light back here, but you got 2 of them. Hey Morris, so are we finally gonna get you in here?
You're clean right now, bro. Look at that bullshit.
You will not get me.
No, wrap me in a trash bag and just throw me in there. Like
Yeah.
that.
Dude, that'd be so cool. We make a skit. Like, all right, yesterday people wanted to see how many dead bodies you could fit in here. Well, here you go.
You open it up and you're like, oh, never mind.
They're gonna think like
It's gonna be like a foot sticking out and be like, close
Yeah.
yeah, just close.
I can tell you already, this roof is shorter.
No, it is because the
Doesn't type
hatchback is like more of a
Yeah.
angle, yeah.
So if you were to put the seats down, you could probably get 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe
get like
6.
six, yeah,
I think
6.
6 tires in here.
Because you'd have to have one right here, especially if they were 18-inch. You'd have to have one right here, one over there, and then the 4.
But you know, also comparing it to the original Integra, this is the body that it's always.
Yes. Looking at it,
As an enthusiast, yes.
Yes,
This is
like-
the body. This is the hatch. This is the same style that,
Yes.
that we've been looking for, and it's like buying an SI with the hatch, which people have been complaining about for years. They've been always wanted a SI as a hatch. If there was a hatchback SI, I would have bought it.
yeah.
It would have been a lot easier.
Yeah, like if the FK7 had the SI motor,
It would have been
that would have been the perfect ideal
Yeah.
car.
Because the hatchback is just so much convenient nowadays. You know, like families are bigger. You know, material. You know, obviously it's gonna cost more. This is a luxury brand. You know, but even back then, an Acura was always more expensive than a Honda.
Yeah,
so.
and I think it has to do with the fact we didn't start seeing these cars until we were 18, which is it's already a 10-year-old car.
Yeah.
You know, we're now older, and to
So-
us this is a brand new car. So maybe
So like even the price range, if you're comparing like an older car to this, but at the time without inflation, it was still probably as expensive.
yeah,
You know, so like
it's like looking at that 6th gen right there. Like
that shit was top of the line.
that was top of the line,
It's probably like $13,000.
and no, it's a 20 grand MSRP.
That's expensive though.
Yeah,
back
so
in the day.
back then this was a 20 grand MSRP. That Integra GSR was like 22, 23 grand.
That's almost like close to this.
Yeah, so if you want to consider inflation,
This is 28. This was 28 starting.
Yeah.
Or no, 26.5 actually starting.
mm-hmm.
And 28.18. So like that's that's expensive.
Yeah.
Super expensive.
So if you know, we got the 6th gen here. If you want to compare it to a GSR, that's a whole nother discussion. But looking at the 11 Gen SI versus the new Integra, it does make sense considering the price difference. And I think you are right. I think we are comparing this car too much to
To a Honda. but
a
it's
Honda
not,
10
like-
Gen.
Just look at the interior,
And,
bro. Like,
and it's not like the sub right here. It gets a nice little bezel. Another thing with the 10 Gen hatchback, you did get a little sub right here. It looks like this one's much bigger. You see here, it's kind of covers the entire side. The bezel's really nice. Wouldn't want to scratch that, but and then looking at the back seats, you know, you do get a good amount of space in here. So this box is about, I don't know, it's about like 12 by 10, and you know, fits very well.
You gotta carry some killing tools or something. Lift this bad boy up,
Oh wow,
and then it has this whole cartridge. And if you need more space, I guess you could remove this, right?
yeah, that is true. That's a lot of space actually.
No spare though. Like
No spare.
Hondas.
Gives you the
The little thing that shit doesn't work. I tried it. I got a flat one time. The sound system, even compared to the 11 Gen, way better.
yeah.
I have the same sound system in the RDX. Dude, it's like it literally like it feels like there's on the outside noise. It's like nothing.
Yeah.
It's like so sound deafened. So
I think that's another thing too with Integra is you don't hear the road as much compared to the 11 Gen. Yeah, I do like the hatch.
you know, groceries. You know,
Yeah. You got Morris over here just chilling. So if you've been in a Lexus or a BMW before, this is pretty much similar with the red leather. Kind of, I don't think the video's doing a good justice, but it's like a blood red. It's not red, kind of more of a darker red. Not burgundy, but it is a darker red than here. Currently in the video, it does look pretty bright. I think that's one of the biggest features that I like about this car that makes it luxurious is interior. And then as well, the back side of the seats have that same color. So if you guys recall, we drove the 11 Gen SI. Right away, just looking at the interior, it's a lot more shiny stuff going on. Yeah, like for example here on the door panels.
I feel like more stuff in the 11 Gen is black, huh?
Yeah, and the SI it's more black.
Yeah, remember
This one it has the kind of like a silver bezel going on. Same with the red leather here. So looking at the front seats, something that I just noticed right now is on the outside and on the headrest, it's the same red leather as the back seats, and then you have a black piece that is leather as well, and then the actual center of it is Alcantara. It really does give it like a really luxurious vibe. Like,
And then all the A-Spec models get the door seals. Those are actually separate, so I'm assuming they added them after. The A-Spec weather mats.
mm-hmm.
You get the A-Spec in the steering wheel. Because the only one I believe that has the red leather.
Yeah,
interior.
I really like these seats. About to jump on them, but before we do, I'm just kind of appreciating everything inside.
And the key
This
is
is the key for the Acura. It's real nice.
sleek.
Yeah. Like the Honda one, it's pretty, you know,
And
it's
then
just
they
basic
don't
plastic.
have that. They don't have that stupid like the thing that always messes with your nail when you gotta get this off.
Yeah.
You just press a button right there and it releases
Oh, that's nice. It's a button instead of a,
like a lock.
yeah, got the Acura logo on this.
The other thing too that I liked is that the vents aren't as ridiculous as the 11 Gen.
Camera died. Real quick, grabbed Lewis's ZV-1 camera. Another thing too, once the battery died, I did see that it had option 1 or 2. So this allows, so let's say you and your girl both drive this car. You can have it either set as option 1 for yourself and option 2 for the next person. Another thing is, let's say someone does drive it, like let's say your dad, your sister, some random valet driver. If they adjust the seat in any way, by you pressing this button again, it resets the seat to whatever that setting is. So if you have the setting 1 as yourself, you just click on it and then resets the seat exactly how you want. Moving forward, looking at the steering wheel here, comparing the 11 Gen versus the Integra, the steering wheel is the same diameter, and I just noticed that
The same shape, doesn't it?
the same shape, everything.
Yeah, even this whole bottom piece is the same. The only thing that's different is the A-Spec thing.
Yeah, the tension steering.
Comparing it to attention, bro.
Well, so Lewis. Oh.
That time is dead.
So, all right, guys. So Lewis got mad. He said to stop comparing this car to the tension. So I'm gonna stop talking about the tension. But most of you guys watching might have a tension. That's why I keep comparing it to that. But I'm not. Moving forward, we're gonna compare it to the 11 Gen SI that we drove. So the steering wheel is the same as the 11 Gen SI. The only difference that Lewis said is here we have the A-Spec on the Integra. Same with the push button here, so it has a different bezel. Moving forward to the center console here, so we have a few different options here. We have different dynamic modes, so this modifies your powertrain, your suspension, and you could go from comfort mode, regular, sport mode. So this is kind of nice. On my Type R, I'm always on Type R mode. So on this car as well, I'll probably do the same thing. And then this one had the option of the wireless charger. You literally put your phone on top and it just starts charging it for you. So that's pretty sick. Looking at the shifter, I really do like how they have the shifter set up here. So my arm is chilling real nice. And then you got the shifter here. We were looking at the shift knob and we noticed that this shift knob is pretty identical to the S2K. I don't know if this is true, but they're saying that this is the exact same part number as the S2K shift knob. So that's pretty cool. Gives it that S2K heritage kind of look. Looking at the shifter here, I really like it. It feels kind of short. I don't know if it is, but like, I don't know. I just wanted to start doing some karate stuff on here, like, you know, just going crazy on it. Looking at it from top view, this side has this cover. On the driver's side, it doesn't. So it kind of allows you to have more space. So I do like how the cockpit / dashboard, it's all kind of centered towards the driver. I bet with time this will get looser, but for now it feels pretty stiff. You know how it is when it's the first time, it's all tight. If you know, you know, you get what I'm trying to say here, but for now they're pretty tight and firm. Real nice, how I like them. You have 2 cup holders, just like the 11 Gen SI, and then you have a deep pocket storage space in the center. And then here as well, kind of opens up, automatic. So that's pretty cool. It's a cool car. Like, I don't know, before getting in this car, before even looking at this car, I was very judgmental on it. But now that I'm inside the car, like, I do feel luxurious. And then the last thing I'd want to say is that, so you do get upgraded audio system compared to the 11 Gen SI. And again, I'm been sitting here for about 5 minutes or so. I really love these seats. Like from the interior point of view, Morris, I do like it.
Yeah, I mean, it all seems like it's driver oriented.
Yeah. The only thing with these seats for sure, especially with the center being Alcantara, just like the top bar seats, they will be need to be cleaned differently than if you're cleaning the leather section of these pieces. But overall, I really do like the car. So let's start it up, see how it looks. So that's pretty cool how it has it set up here. Okay, just like any car. So you know, it has Apple CarPlay, Android AutoPlay kind of things, but you got home, you got the volume, got FM, Bluetooth, connect. Real nice. So currently there's no phone connected. But if you see, just like the 11th Gen SI, it lets you know if people are in the car right away, if your kids don't have seatbelts on, you know, safety first. As well with the hatch, it lets you know, hey, the hatch isn't open. A lot of tech in this car. I'm really digging it. So overall, outside, I give it 7 out of 10. Interior, I give it 10 out of 10, considering Acura and Honda. What do you think of the car overall?
I mean, I give it a 6 out of 10 on the outside. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
Inside, I really do enjoy the red. That's just my personal opinion on it. But I mean, I agree. 10 out of 10 on the interior. I like the actual cockpit feel of it that it gives you. I don't think it still gives off those like cockpit vibes.
No, it doesn't give S2K vibes or
like
Supra vibes,
Corvette,
but it's there. Like it got that style, but it's not there.
Yeah, but I do think they could have changed the at least middle section where the AC vent is. I do really like the heads-up display.
Yeah.
That is one factor that I like.
Yeah, it kind of gave me that Supra BMW vibes having that heads-up display.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's our opinion about the new Integra. Would I buy it for 42? Maybe if my Type R were to have issues. If it was my only car and I needed a daily, maybe I'd buy it. But like how I was explaining to Morris, personally, I'd rather buy a used car. But currently with these times, right, a 10th Gen SI costs about 35K. For 5K more, I'd rather get a new car, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
because at that
you're right around the same ballpark.
Yeah, because you're gonna pay, let's say, $50 more a month, but you're gonna be in a new car.
Yeah.
Compared to a used car with 30K, 40K miles. So.
Yeah. No, I mean that's true. I mean even recently, like we were down in Westminster, and it wasn't Honda, but it was a dealership across, and they had a 2021 Type R. I don't know the mileage. I want to say maybe around 50,000 miles, and they were asking near $50,000 for it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
which is ridiculous. Like, but even then, if you're saying 50K miles versus a 0 mile car, like, I don't know, it's a tough choice.
Like the SI, it's like multiple. Dude. 1, 2, 3, and then 4.
Oh, I see.
So it goes from
1, 2,
4.
3, 4.
Yeah. And then this one is just 2, so it's like 1 right here, and then 1 on the inner side.
Why do you think the Integra has?
I mean, the 11 gen is exactly the same, like the same 2-bolt style.
So when you looked at the 11th gen motor, it's pretty much identical to this.
Yeah, I mean it's the same exact like setup. You
same
get
everything.
Exactly the same. The only thing that changes the valve cover.
The valve cover. This one gets an Acura logo.
And then the Honda one, I don't believe it comes with like the Earth Dream stickers that everyone likes, but it just comes like how this would be if it was just a straight.
Yeah.
Cross. But I mean, it's still like the same intake, same turbo. I mean,
same setup. So probably the motor mounts, maybe the location of.
Yeah, I mean, like this part is still identical to like the 10th gen, like these holes. I mean, I'm assuming they use like the front end of like a 10th gen maybe.
Yeah.
Just because I know.
Like or maybe for the Type S or Type R that they're developing, something like that.
Yeah, because I know on like the 10th gen, like you can, on his car we fit the FK radium overflow.
Yeah.
But like I'm sure if you really wanted to do whatever for whatever reason you want to add it.
Yeah, because for the 10th gen, the reserve was over here. But for this one, it's right here.
But this went to a more traditional bleeding style,
which is
radiator.
Okay.
So like how that one was like a self-bleeding.
Yeah,
The one that was right here was a self-bleeding one.
you just, as long as this is filled, all the air comes
All
out.
the air will come out from there.
Versus-
This, you just have to like, you put the cone and you know, it's more of a traditional style. My assumption is just that since they were cracking, they just wanted to like eliminate the, I guess, the risk of it,
Yeah.
ruining a motor potentially.
Yeah, because it was common for the reserve to crack, but now that they have this one, and
It's
that
more-
being the highest point in the cooling system.
So you would have to bleed it from here.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes to the same thing like the Accords. It has the same style.
Yeah.
I mean, most cars do.
Yeah, because even my S2K, this is it's the same setup.
Yeah.
With that being the cap being the cooling system.
Yeah.
From now, currently this and the 11 Gen SI, pretty much the same order.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same intake manifold. Obviously, the turbo is different. Charge pipes are like they're no longer how I guess the tension one is. It's like how it bolts onto. I mean, it still does, but it's not as. It reminds me more of an Accord.
Yeah. An Accord 2.0.
Yeah. I mean that like how that one would be come through the.
Yeah.
So this one goes straight down into the intercooler. So I mean, honestly, it would probably be easy to run like a G series kit if you really wanted to. If it were to bolt up to the head. But
Yeah.
just because the G series runs down and shoots how exactly this would line up. So
In the future, would you guys be thinking about maybe putting like a head of a different, let's say the L series head
it
with
probably wouldn't fit. I mean, we've talked about it, me and him.
like swapping the heads or swapping
Yeah,
the bottoms, kind of like
so,
B
like,
series or K.
Yeah, we've talked about it, but the only thing is that as far as like swapping it from let's say 11 gen head to a 10 gen block, you have the B-Tech that you wouldn't be able to use. Now using a 10 or 11 gen block, that is something that we would be interested in, just because we don't know if it would actually work. Like the bottom end might work, but we don't know if it'll work with like the compatibility with the 10 gen head to the 11 gen block.
Yeah.
And see if it'll it should, but I mean you never know. There might be some
Yeah,
changes,
until you tear this engine apart, you really don't know if the
And
mounting's the same or whatever.
Yeah, to be the first to do it, it's kind of like risky at that point.
Yeah.
If you want to spend, I don't know what the blocks go for new. I mean, I know 10 gen ones go for around like $1,200, just the block itself. So
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
And maybe mechanically it does fit, but software wise it might not work.
Yeah,
Which is pretty much waste of money at that point.
it looks the same sensoring wise and everything. So I mean, it should. I know the head for sure, 100% won't fit on. I mean, it might fit, but it might not. It won't work. For sure.
Yeah, mechanically it might fit, but who knows software wise.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
I mean, like I've said, it's pretty much the same chassis. Same.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty excited for the future and what the aftermarket scene is for both the 11 Gen and the Integra. But
Yeah.
I think in summary, A versus B, I think the Integra is better.
Yeah. I mean, depending on what you want it for.
Yeah, depending what you want it for. But if they both cost the same amount, I think the Integra is much better, just considering the interior. And again, this is a A-Spec trim level, so there is lower base model Integra, but this is currently the highest trim level as of 2022. Maybe in the future there'll be a Type S, Type R. I personally would be interested if they keep the similar interior, but like more of a track-oriented interior. That'd be really cool. But overall, I wouldn't mind this car if it had a 2.0 turbo, just because how luxurious it is. Like honestly,
If you had a 2.0,
yeah, slap a FK8 turbo and a Accord turbo in here, this would be a pretty sick buy. Like, but again, it's the same way as back then, right? People were saying FK7 with the SI motor would be cool.
Yeah.
I think we're now saying an Integra with a 2.0 would be cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe. Hopefully in the future, VCD will have a Integra, and we could give you guys more in depth about it. Yeah. So thank you again, Morris. Thank you again, Louis.